Atma Prema Conversations presents MoneyLove by Dr. Edna Colyanco Chua. And today marks our first episode. So Edna, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for agreeing to be our maiden media cast at Atma Prema Conversations. MoneyLove.
MoneyLove.
Let's tell the story. Why MoneyLove?
Okay. So why MoneyLove? No. Actually, we were actually debating if we should do it MoneyLove or abundance consciousness or whatever. But we decided on MoneyLove simply because we can have abundance. We have abundance in everything, right?
Absolutely.
And we accept that.
Yes.
But for some reason, specifically for money, that's where some of us trips over.
And there's so much guilt around money.
Yeah,
right?
there's so much
And it's not just guilt, it's also
shame, major shame for wanting money. That's why we were like, wait, MoneyLove, it's
Or
gonna
even talking about money, right? And then when we started telling people we were doing this media production on MoneyLove, a lot of people were saying, why don't you just call it abundance?
Exactly, right?
Or the law of attraction.
But we want to trigger you guys.
And why is it so important to say the word money?
Because that's the taboo word,
Right?
We're here to really trigger people. Because a lot of people really have an issue with the word money.
Right?
They have so much judgment with money. They have so much negative thoughts about money. And that's okay. But what we're here to do is not to create wealth for you, because you can go to your bankers to do that. What we're here to do is for you to open up your space to receive money.
And we're talking about frequency here.
Exactly.
In
The
line with
frequency of
everything
money,
we're
not cash
Not the
money.
frequency of abundance
No,
or the
because-
frequency of, it's the frequency of money.
Money.
Okay.
Because we all have abundance. Like, for example, when you were starting, right? I was telling you, you have an abundance of friends. But you were like, no, I want cold cash.
Exactly.
So that's why we did this.
And that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Because I would love for you to share what you taught me to the people in our community. Because I feel that's one of the more valuable things I have learned. And you're my guru for that. And I think it's so important that we share that message. Because this is, of course, assuming you already love yourself.
Yes.
Right? Because there's certain things self-love can't bring. And one of them, folks, is money. Okay? You can't, I always tell my students this, that when you love yourself, money isn't naturally going to flow. It's
a different
frequency.
Yeah.
Right? Although sometimes I tell my students that it's almost the same as the frequency of healthy romantic relationships.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, correct.
And before we excite them on that, let's just talk about money first.
Money first, yeah.
And take away the shame, the judgment, and the guilt around money. And most people have that, right? I mean, I still have it. And I know I was like one of your first students.
And the thing is this, well, first of all, I want to clarify. What I'm going to do is not teach anybody. What I'm just going to do is share my experiences.
Well, that's what teaching is.
Exactly, right?
That's how we teach.
And then
we share.
whoever listens to this, if you get whatever,
Yes.
you work with whatever you get from what we're saying.
And we
right?
invite you to eavesdrop in our conversation. Because this is how we process, we converse.
Exactly.
And I think that when Edna and I start to converse, people will learn.
Hopefully.
And well, maybe not learn, but inspire You get inspired to work on yourself because we're not
Exactly.
here to work on you, as you
Exactly.
said. And we're not here to create wealth for you because we will not teach you how to invest or how
No.
to. That's not what we're doing this for. We're doing this because we want you to align yourself, calibrate yourself, and equate yourself with the frequency of money
Exactly.
so that you can receive it
Exactly.
with ease and grace.
And
correct?
because the thing is, there's a lot of people that actually already have a lot of money, but there's still that sense of
that
lack.
sense of lack.
Right?
I think that's really the number one hindrance to receiving. But before you can receive that, you have to learn how to receive love from yourself first. Let's
Exactly.
clarify that.
Yes, of course.
So we're coming from a foundation of self-love. This is, I think, a very important foundation that we're setting here. Because after self-love, what? Okay, let's focus on
Create.
prosperity and
Exactly.
wealth and learn how to attract money so that we can continue to be happy. So tell us, does money buy you happiness?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Right? No, because the thing is, some people are ashamed to say, for example, that, you know what? I want this bag that I bought creates joy in my space. Sometimes they feel it's,
And it's
too
not
petty.
shallow.
Yeah.
And let's talk about materialism.
Exactly.
And equating that with shallowness.
Yeah, it's not. For me, we're human beings, right?
Yes.
So if today or, this week, I'm really not feeling well, for some reason, I just can't get myself out of this funk.
You're unmotivated.
Yeah,
Yes.
and there's just some sense of lacking of joy or whatever. And then I see a bag and it brings a smile to me. Or, like
And you
any,
can afford
any
it
trinket.
naman, right?
Yeah, as long as you can afford it, right? Or any trinket that brings joy to me that when I
yeah,
look at it,
trinket.
it reminds me of a happy time or whatever.
Yeah.
And it brings me out of my funk. What's the harm in buying that single thing that every time you look at it, it helps you get out of your funk? And then you know what? Once you are out of that sadness or
Yes.
that depressed state, then you can actually think clearer. You can actually say, wait, 10 minutes ago I was happy, or 2 weeks ago I was happy. What happened in the last 2 weeks that brought down my frequency, that brought down my energy? But you can't think that clearly when you're in the muddle of things, when you're in that space of the depressed space, right?
And
You're
there's nothing wrong with
depressed.
gifting yourself with something.
Nothing at all.
I get that a lot from the mothers in my space.
Oh yeah.
Where they would rather save their money to buy something
For their kids.
for their kids, but they won't buy something for themselves.
I always tell them, you know what? How can you share the love when you
Yes.
yourself, or the joy when you yourself don't have it, or you're lacking in it? Your tank is not full.
Yes.
And the thing is this, when your tank is not full and you give,
Yes.
there's expectations of return.
I love that.
Right?
Yes.
Look at it. Your son, for example, right? If there's expectation, if you're not giving yourself enough love, and whatever you have, you give to your son, and your son disregards that love
And doesn't say thank you.
and doesn't say thank you, of course you're gonna get
You're
hurt,
going
right?
to get
But
hurt.
if you're creating so much love in your space and you're so happy and you're like sharing that love, you're, oh my God, my son, I'm sharing with you my love, and your son doesn't care, I don't care because I'm happy.
Yes. Yes. So I think, would it be correct to say that the first thing we need to do is get rid of the guilt that surrounds
definitely.
money? Because it's a hindrance to receiving.
Actually, not getting rid of it, but more like transmuting or
I
changing
like
your
that.
definition.
So instead of
of-
saying, let's get rid of it, let's transmute it.
because we
let's
think
flip
that
it.
when you say get rid of it, our mentality is there's something wrong with our thought about money. Thinking that money is evil is not a wrong thing, because money can be used for evil, right? So guilt about it, maybe that guilt will save us. For example, from doing something bad, or splurging too
Okay.
much that
Yes.
we don't
Yes,
have the money and
I
we're
hear
still
you.
spending.
I hear
So
you.
it's not a good or a bad thing, but maybe we can just shift the energy.
We shift the energy, and we shift the energies of guilt, lack, and shame.
Yes, about money.
I love
specifically.
that. So we're going to start with shifting that energy of guilt, and we're going to talk more about that on our next episode.
Yeah, so join us please for our next episode.